It's going to be a long night. Congressman Haridopolos now joining us with a phone interview. He obviously represents this part of Brevard County. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. You've been speaking to Jared Isaacman, NASA administrator. What have you learned about this incident?
Well, first and foremost, we're just so grateful no one was injured in this catastrophic explosion. That's the best news. I mean, we always put safety first, and the Blue Origin team was committed to that endeavor. Jared and I communicated tonight. He'll be on the ground tomorrow with the experts to understand the impact this has on our lunar mission to get back to the moon in 2028. Because, as you know, we're relying on Blue Origin as one of those landers, like SpaceX will be the other, to get us back to the moon. And so we want to do a thorough analysis of how much damage this did to the pad and how quickly we can get it up operating again and making sure everything checks out.
Is there any insight that you've been given as to what may have gone wrong? Do they have any indications here?
I think Blue Origin smartly is doing all the analysis so they do come out. They want to have a good answer, a thorough answer. Jared, to his credit, Isaacman, our NASA administrator, has been really just doing an amazing job. He led this course on the Artemis II mission so successfully. We've been in communication. We want the experts on the ground. We want to understand what happened so it never happens again, and how we get that launch pad operational again as we gear up to go back to the moon in 2 short years. But it's nothing preliminary out because, again, I think smartly they want to say, before we put anything out, we want to know exactly what happened. But the good news is no one was injured.
Congressman, this may be too early to say, but is there an alternative? If we don't use a Blue Origin lunar lander, to use 2 SpaceX versions of it, or to launch a Blue Origin lunar lander on a different style rocket, if this launch pad is inoperable and this rocket is inoperable in that timeline that NASA has put out there?
Well, again, that's why we want to be smart about it. I mean, this literally happened, as we all saw, in the dark of night. When we get fresh eyes on it in the morning with the experts led by Jared Isaacman, we can get a better analysis on it, understand what happened, what anomaly took place. I've been in contact with the people at Blue Origin, the leadership team there. They're on it, as you can imagine. We don't want to get ahead of our skis here. We want to make sure that we do it right. But yes, we are relying on Blue Origin to be one of those potential landers. Of course, SpaceX is working on theirs as well. We would like to have multiple options. That's why we put the funding forth. As you know, record funding for NASA this past year. So we put the ingredients in place. We're going to find out a lot more tomorrow morning at the light of day. And let's hope that we can get this launch pad repaired and make sure we understand what happened with the Glenn rocket.
I know you said that when you first found out what happened, your initial thought was, thank goodness that nobody was hurt in all of this. But what else went through your mind when you found out exactly what happened with the rocket?
Well, as the chairman of the Space Committee, we've seen so much success over the last few months. You saw Starship with their big success just a few days ago. Of course, Artemis II, the amazing mission around the moon for the first time since 1972. We're really enjoying a role. But look, space is hard, and I can't stress that enough, how challenging this is and how courageous these astronauts are to take these rides. And so we wanted to be really in a strong position to protect life. That's our #1 criteria with NASA, let alone, of course, our friends at Blue Origin, SpaceX, ULA, you name it. But we're just going to need to really focus in and understand how this might impact the future, and we want to do it with open and clear eyes. I don't want to make any political decisions until we know exactly what happened, but the good news is that the Congress is committed, as the president is, to winning this space race, getting back to the moon, and eventually establishing this moon base.
Congressman, walk us through, obviously, the space race of the 60s was different. We were going against the Soviets, trying to get onto the moon the first time. Now we're in a different type of space race, which is returning to the moon and creating those bases. You know, what's your biggest concern after seeing tonight's explosion on trying to beat out other countries who are looking to do the same thing?
Well, as you know, we're in a space race now with China. They're looking to get to the moon by 2030. They're not as advanced as we are, as we know, but again, these are the challenges we're going to face. As you know, we faced tragedy during the Apollo years and, of course, multiple tragedies during the years with the space shuttle. This is why it's so important that we have a capable leader like Jared Isaacman, who understands not just the everyday atmosphere at NASA, but also the engineering necessary to find success in these attempts we're going to make on the moon. And so I'm confident that we're going to win this race because we have such an amazing team. The Congress, with the help of the taxpayer, of course, importantly, have given us the resources to win this space race. And again, this is not just landing on the moon. This is about using the hydrogen and oxygen, meaning the water on the south pole of the moon, and also, of course, extracting things like helium-3, which will allow us to create energy more efficiently and safely here on Earth. So it's a long-term endeavor. We're committed to winning this race, but we're always going to put safety first, and that's why it's so vital that Jared Isaacman will be on the ground tomorrow. I'll be available whatever he needs, and we want to make strong decisions as we make this launch towards the moon in 2028. And we're optimistic that this was just, again, an anomaly that we could easily fix, but we're going to do a thorough job to make sure we're always protecting life.
All right, Congressman Mike Haridopolos, thank you so much for your time this evening. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time. We're just grateful everyone's safe. Thank you.
Thank you.